If we gave it a remote control, could a plant decide where it was going to grow? Because we know that plants follow light, they're phototropic. And so, we have the classic image of the sunflower turning its head, or you've probably seen in your house if you have plants near the window, they're kind of pointing in the direction. It's like, well, what if we move the light?
Yasmeen Hitti, PhD candidate at McGill University.
Plants, people think they're stationary, but actually they do move, but it's through growing. It's at the very tip. So they are navigating a space, but at a very different time scale than us. Everything seems slower because we're not seeing a lot of things happen. You're lucky if you're catching a bloom in motion, you're seeing a leaf unfold, but we're at a time scale that's so different. And so seeing a quick response like that is like, oh wow, what's going under the hood? What's happening here? What are things that we cannot see? And so even in, a few minutes of data collection, seeing that a response is different was kind of amazing.
You mentioned that plants communicate to each other. What do we know about that so far?
So plants have what we call volatile organic compounds, which are these like micro traces of gases and that are there. So you can think about a plant when you see it, there's maybe this like thin cloud that we're not seeing. That is passing. If there's a neighboring plant, it can sense. And so when there is a stress or there's something else, composition of this gas is going to change and the other plant's going to sense it. And so that's typically how they would communicate above ground. In fact, I think this was in Japan. They put some scaffolding along this huge tree and they cut 90% of its leaves. So to stress it out, they chop, 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 chop. And then they measured within a radius of 2 kilometers or something. And they were seeing how far is this gas going. So the other trees were protecting themselves thinking this was coming. And so it's kind of interesting knowing how far, they can spread a message and how much time as well.